Okay, we have gone live now on YouTube, so we can start our event for today. For everybody who wants to follow the event in English, just stays here with us. Und für alle, die auf Deutsch die Übersetzung hören wollen, klicken bitte unten auf die Weltkugel, wo Dolmetschen steht, und wählen Deutsch aus. We will do some breaks between we talk, because like this, the translators don't have so many problems to translate. So, hello, everybody. We welcome you to our event today. Relocation, could it be a fair solution? Could it be a fair European solution? We are very happy to have you all in the event, of course, the spectators, and we are very happy to have great panelists for today who will talk about the subject of relocation. They will present themselves a little bit better furthermore, but I want to stress out that we are very, very happy, especially to have Khalifa and Peter with us, who share the experience and the expertise about relocation procedures. And we are very, very glad that you share this experience with us and also with the other people. So thank you a lot for that before we start. I will put now in the chat also the website of our report. This event is referring to a report, what we have written last year. It is about relocation mostly from Italy to Germany, but also from Malta to Germany. And what does it mean, relocation, for the people who have been relocated to Germany? We have done a lot of interviews, more than 45 interviews with people who have been rescued from the sea and relocated from Italy and Malta to Germany, and what are the experiences in Germany after the relocation. So in our event today, we will briefly come back to the situation, what happened in Italy, why we came to the situation of EU ad hoc relocation. Then we will come to the situation of Germany, what happened to the people after being relocated to Germany. And we will have also in the ending a comparison with the Greek situation. So what is going on in Greece and how is the relocation going on in Greece? So I think we should start from here. Our first guest on the panel, you can also shortly introduce yourself, is Lucia, and she will speak about the Italian situation. For the others who are watching us, who are participating in the event, you can always comment and also put questions in the chat, and we will read them out later. The structure will be of the event that we have inputs for the first 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and then there will be time, half an hour for discussion and for questions, etc., etc. Our report you find in the chat, in the website, what I put in the chat. There you can see the report and also the short video clips of the people who have worked with us in our project. So let's start with Italy. Lucia, maybe you present yourself very shortly and tell us again how the situation in Italy was. How did it come to the EU relocation from Italy to Germany?
Hello, and thanks for inviting me. I'm Lucia, and I work as a lawyer in Italy with an association called ASGI, which means Association for Juridical Studies on Migration. And what I will tell you here is the result of research that we conducted with a project called In Limine. And also thanks to the experience of working together with rescue NGOs such as Mediterranean and Sea-Watch mainly. Can you hear me well? There are some noises. Okay. Basically, when we speak about, okay, just a second, I have a small problem.
There's some noise in Lucia's house. She will be back soon, I think.
Sorry, kids. Okay, so when we speak about ad hoc relocation agreements, we speak about the intersection of different dynamics concerning migration at sea. And the first point to raise is the existence and functioning of the Dublin regulation, and especially in the part that established the responsibility over asylum procedure of the member state where the person first enters. So this touches a lot disembarkation countries such as Italy and Malta, of course. And this leads to the establishment of a sort of artificial link between the right to disembark, also the right to finish a rescue operation quickly, and the distribution of responsibilities between EU member states. And it has been used a lot to link these two moments, which in theory are totally separate moments.
Lucia, you have to slow down a little bit, the translators say, and have maybe some small breaks while
Yes, I was running because I thought I was late. Okay. So I was speaking about this artificial link created by the Italian and EU policies on managing migration at sea between the right to disembark and the subsequent responsibility to take care of migration procedures. And I mean here asylum procedures and return procedures, which are usually put together in the European governmental discourse, which led to a situation that started basically in 2018 in the summer, when a right-oriented government in Italy started to practice the so-called standoff practices, which meant delaying or denying the assignment of a place of safety, a port of safety, to private ships, usually run by NGOs, but also sometimes to state ships, until a redistribution agreement was set between EU member states, which willingly and informally accepted to take some of the people who were rescued and transfer them into their territory. So no redistribution agreement, no assignment of a place for disembarking rescued people. This was the common situation we had between summer 2018 and summer 2019. At a certain point in 2019, at the very end of this government, which was famous for the presence of Salvini as a minister of Interior, also reaching a redistribution agreement was not enough to allow people to disembark. And this is meaningful because it shows the arbitrariness of the practice. So what happened? That a group of member states informally agreed to have this redistribution with the support of the European Commission, and started an informal procedure, which also now, even though it has been somehow developed basically through the support of EASO, the European Office for Asylum, also through the support of Dublin units and the European Commission itself, we still have, and it's not the aim, so we don't have to imagine that at a certain point there will be, in my opinion, a clearer and legal framework to regulate these procedures. This means a lot of things. This means, for example, that states which agrees to have this distribution of responsibilities don't have any real duty to finally do the transfers. At the same time, it means that it's not clear, and we just have, for example, SOPs or EASO documents, which are not binding and are not connected to any law, which tell us a bit which are the criteria used to allocate the different people to the different countries. And these criteria are somehow referring to Dublin criteria or family links or cultural links and so on, but they are not clearly established. And the way the matches, it's the word that has been used by ASO, the match between state and a certain person, is all in the end of EASO, which proposed, because this is not a procedure which is like in place right now, was made exactly by this agency without a very clear framework. This means that the whole procedure is is thought for going in the direction of the state's interests, leaving aside, even more than in the Dublin system, the people's rights. In fact, this situation, since because of this informality and because of its being outside the existing legal framework, creates a situation where rescued people don't achieve any kind of right. What does it mean? It means that they go through interviews and through different also periods of de facto detention in the Italian hotspot. Here I'm speaking about Italy, of course. And they don't know what happens next, which is the time frame, what there's nothing written about, for example, which information have to be provided to people which undergo to this through these procedures. Probably the other panelists will tell us for sure more. But from my experience, very few information were provided to allow the person to say yes or no to this procedure. And this led to a situation where no one said no, without having the possibility, for example, to challenge the transfer or the refusal of the transfer. Rejections were made also in an informal way. We had no paper to start, for example, a legal action or contest the decision, also because it was a decision from another state. It's a very complicated situation, and without regulation, as it happens with the Dublin system, which is not something that I'm supporting here, but it has clear fixed parameters, no? So I would say that even if this started as a mere procedure put in place by different actors during time, even if there was an attempt to connect the procedure to Dublin exceptions, which are foreseen in the Dublin regulation, and even if there was an attempt to stabilize the system through the Malta Agreement. I don't have time, I think, to speak about that. So I won't, maybe we can do it later. Maybe it's interesting to know that even this agreement, proposal of agreement that have been written in September 2019 was not finally really in place. It was mentioned a lot of times as if it was, but it's still in the level of uncertainty, also from a legal point of view. So I would stop here and just like to underline the arbitrariness of this whole situation, which leads, as it happens often in the migration field, to a shift from a set of rights, contestable, but there, to a very, very informal and unguaranteed system, which is maybe even worse.
Thank you very much, Lucia, for your impression and also for analyzing a little bit the EU ad hoc relocation process. We will now switch to Khalifa from Potsdam. And Khalifa is expert about the relocation process since he has gone through it and has helped us as part of the project also, and has helped us a lot to find people who were relocated and to help us understand a lot the whole procedure and how everything was going. So I would say without Khalifa, the project would have not been possible. So Khalifa, now it's up to you. Please give us an idea about how the relocation procedure in Italy was taking place. And later in the second round, we will come to the German part. But now for Italy, what was the problem? What were the problems? What was the procedure and so on?
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Musa Khalifa. I left my country in 2016 and I'm back on a journey that led me towards Libya, and I crossed the Mediterranean Sea. On the 17th of September 2019, we were on a serious distress in the sea, and we were rescued by Ocean Vikings. And after we spent 8 days in the Mediterranean Sea, we were being allowed to drop in the safe port in Italy, in Sicily, Messina. Then when we arrived in Sicily, Messina, on the 24th of September 2019, and we passed through a lot of interviews by Italians. 3 weeks later, the information was being given to us that will be shared to different EU countries. So we are very happy because we don't know if it is France, if it's other different European countries, we never know. So some weeks later, the list was out that we are going to Germany. A lot of people were going to France, a lot of people were going to Luxembourg, a lot of people were going to Ireland, and I saw my name on German list. I don't know how they make the selection, where they take the selection from. I don't know how they make the selection, but I just see myself on German list. And a lot of people from Africa, and also we came together through Mediterranean Sea on the 24th of September. We are still on the list for relocation. And after the list was out, the German Migration Office for Immigration came to Italy, in Sicily, Messina, in the camp, to interview us. And the interview lasted about 3 to 4 hours for just one person. And after the interview, they told us that if you are positive, that they are going to forward all the details.
Khalifa, your audio is off.
It's okay?
Now you're back.
And they still told us that after the list was out, and I saw my name on German list, a lot of people from Africa, with different EU, different African countries were also there on the German list, and we're also very happy. The German Migration Office has to come to Italy and Sicily to interview us. The interview lasts about 3 to 4 hours for just one person. And after the interview, they told us they are going to forward all the informations down to Germany, and they will make a decision. But they don't know how long it will take. But we have to keep waiting. But if you have positive, that shows that you are going to Germany. If you have negative, you are going to stay in Italy. We are all praying to have positive. Some weeks later, we have been transferred to Crotone in Italy. When we get to Crotone in Italy, we see a lot of people who are also waiting in emergency camps. Some people have been waiting for 5 months, some people have been waiting for 6 months. And we also be rescued by different NGOs like Lifeline, Open Arms, Ocean Vikings, so many Sea Watch. We're also waiting in Crotony. Some people have been waiting for 4 months, some people are waiting for 5 months, some people are waiting for 6 months. Then we joined them in the emergency camp. And when we're in emergency camp for a long time, there was no information. Then we have to make a query. Why are we still here? And they told us that Jama prepared a better place for you to stay. That is why you are still here. I never know Jama to prepare a lager. I never know coming to Jama is going to be 5 people living in the room, 6 people, 2 people living in one room. No information was being given to us. The information was the Jama prepared a better place for you to stay. And we were all praying to have positive, of course. While we're in Crotony, the list came to us that we have acceptance to go to Germany. A lot of people will also be rejected. So we are happy that we have acceptance to go to Germany. A lot of people will also be rejected and few people will be accepted. We thought that was all, that our asylum has been accepted by Germany, so we can go to Germany. On the 20th of December 2019, we arrived in Germany in the Kassel airport. So we are being dispatched. We are 132 people. We are being located to Germany on December 20, 2019. We are being shared to different regions. And since then, people have been facing different tormenting, different torture from different regions. I continue from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khalifa. One more question, or maybe 2 more questions. When you had the interviews with the German officials, were the interviews written down for you? Was it possible for you to get them in your hand to see what they have written down about you? Was there any kind of documentation, what you can refer on later or something like this?
The interview, when the German official came, just one person. There were 2 to 3 people interviewing one person, and they were written everything. When you are talking, then they were written everything. Then after the interview, then we have to temperate, and they said we did not sign. They told to us that anything you say here is going to be forwarded to the Federal Migration Federal Migration from Refugees in Germany will be sent, and they are going to cross-check if your story is okay, then they can give you positive. But if your story, if it's not okay, then you have negative to stay in Italy. After the interview lasts about 3 to 4 hours for one person. And they told us that if you have positive, you are going to Germany and you will be saved there. Thank you.
And from there, we continue also later. So yeah, we can stress out there was no documentation, there was no information for the people in Italy. What will come after the relocation in Germany and how is the procedure? Let's come to Peter. Peter is joining us from Nigeria. Maybe you can just present yourself a second and then share with us how your arrival in Europe was and how the relocation procedure in Malta, where you first arrived, was going on. Wait, now it's, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Ogenyi. I'm from Nigeria, currently in Nigeria right now. Yeah, in 2017, I flew my country and I moved towards North Africa. And all of a sudden I got myself in Libya, and from there, on the 3rd of April 2019, I boarded a boat, rubber boat, and when we get to the middle of Mediterranean Sea, around 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, our boat stopped, and we spent up to 3 hours on the sea without any rescue. After 3 hours, we discovered that Alan Kudi was, coming towards our direction. That's when we got a relief. Everybody started rejoicing that we got a relief, that we are not going to die on the sea. So after rescuing 62 persons on the rubber boat, 2 minor and 60 adults in the boat. So they let us know. They gave us, first of all, they gave us a temporary cloth to change our cloth, because we are all wet. It was raining during rainy season, and they gave us some snacks, and after that they now gave us information that we are heading to Italy. That was during the Matteo Salvini regime in Italy, when it was having a very issue with migrant issue. So when we get to the Sicily, they rejected us from being allowed to dock in the Sicily. Then the crew also, the Alan Kudi crew members, let us know that we are going towards the direction of Malta. When we get to the Malta territory, they refuse us to, dock in their ports. So that is how we spent 2 weeks, over 2 weeks in the Mediterranean Sea. A lot of us fall sick. But one thing that happens on the sea is that when anyone falls sick, the Malta Armed Forces, they will come with their boats to come and take the person to Malta to treat the person and return the person back to the boats. So after 1 week, the Alan Kudi crew members let us know that they are debating, the European Union are debating about our issue, how to share us, how to dispatch us, and the safety port to drop us, so that it can be easy for different countries that accept to take us in. So after the 2 weeks, they now allow us to dock in the Malta seaport. Then when we get there, they give us some treatments, medication, and other things. And they took us to they said that is a immigration detention center. So we were asking ourselves, are we criminals? Well, what we couldn't, nobody couldn't give us the answer, but we say, okay, thank God we are not dead in the sea. Thank God we are no longer in our country of persecution, where we spent up to 4 months in the immigration detention center in Malta. So that is where, when one of the IOM came to us and started giving us some information that those countries that accepted to take us to their various country, very soon they will be coming for interview. On one morning, I just woke up and we got information that Germany is coming to interview me. I was like, how did they got my name and how? But all I will have to do is to just get ready for the interview. Like Khalifa said, I spent close to 3 hours in interview. Only me, just one person, because I experienced it. I experienced that by myself. I stay like 3 hours on interview. What the lady and the two men that interviewed me let me know is that everything that I'm saying here is going to be forwarded to Banff and also immigration office in Germany. I said no problem. So that I have to give them the accurate information about myself, which I did. So along the line, I gave everything. The only thing that I saw as a paperwork is where they show me a paper. It asked me, is my name correct here? I said yes, my name is correct. Is my age correct? I said yes. Is this contract correct? I said, yes. That is all. I didn't sign anything. Only just make my thumbprints, and they say it's all right. I said, okay. I say, can I go? They say, yes, you are free to go. Okay, I now went back to the camp, to detention, immigration detention camp, where they brought me out for the interview. And we spent close to 4 to 5 months in Malta. Being in Malta was it was a little bit, let me say, a little bit free, but because after the 4 months, or 4 to 5 months, they gave us the freedom to, to move out. You can go to a walk and come back to the camp. But the camp, it was not easy in the camp, because we are like 16 persons in one room. That is we have like up to like 6 beds, one up, one down, sleeping. That is one person sleep up and one person sleep down. So that is what we have. That is the challenge we have in that particular room. And when you want to have some rest, another one is playing his music. And when you want to stay in quiet place, you see some people fighting, all those things. So that is how we are there, getting to at around 29th of June. We got information that Germany is coming to relocate us from Malta to Germany. Oh, we are happy. Wow. Everybody was celebrating. We are going to Germany. So on that morning, they say we have to hurry up, pick up your properties, and we have to hurry up, because you don't need to miss your flight. So that's how we got ourselves in the Munchen airport. Yeah, that is the Munchen. That is how we get ourselves there. And some group of Red Cross was waiting for us to land, and they pick us down to immigration center in Munchen. So that is where we now went. Immediately we are arriving. No, they don't give us a space to have some rest. They say that we have to go for another interview, where we are 26 in number. So everyone was like asking. I think we thought we have interview in Malta before last 3 months. They say, yeah, we know, we are aware of that, but you have to go another interview. So we have to move in for another interview. And after that, they said, okay, get ready. Tomorrow morning, you have to move to Bochum. Bochum in under Northwest Valley in Germany. So that is how we wake up early morning around 4 a.m. and they dispatch us different persons to different location in Germany. So me and my colleagues and other African people that with us, we move towards Bochum direction, Northwest Valley. So when we get to Bochum, we couldn't sleep until next morning, because there is a lot of persons waiting for what I don't know really when we get back by this time on that very day, because it was a long journey, a very long journey. So because they took us with bus, not by train. So we waited, and we thought that we are not going to move again. Then when it gets to 5 o'clock in the morning, they called us and they documented us and still take us again into another interview. That is the third interview from Malta to Munchen and to Bochum. So, and they said tomorrow you are going to move together with others to area called Bielefeld, so in Germany. So when it was morning, they boarded us on the bus and they moved us down to Bielefeld. When we get to Bielefeld, we spent like just 3 days. We arrived Bielefeld. They said we have to go to another interview in the immigration.
Just 1 second, sorry to interrupt you. For the things what happened in Germany, we will come later also a little bit. I
Okay.
in the second round, I just have also a question for the Malta case again. So is it the same case like Khalifa also told us that there was no documentation and no information what would happen during the relocation, after the relocation? And the second question is, what do you mean by detention center in Malta? Like, was it you were not allowed to go out until that interview? So for the first month after your arrival, you were really in prison?
Yeah, exactly. That is what it means. You can't have access to exit gates. In Germany, I know. Okay, let me say in Europe generally, you don't have what we call gate. But just a little gate that a small kid can move out of the gate. But this one is a very big and like you are in prison. They let us know that that is where they keep people that commit a lot of crime. You can't have access to the gate, to the main gate. You can't come out come out from the building where they kept you. That is what they mean. You don't have access to except you are on top of the building and you can view the outside the environment where you are. That is what it means. We don't have access to anything. What they gave to me is what I eat. What the cloth they give to you is what you wear. You don't have access. You can only view, but you can't access the outside environment. That is what it means. It means prison. That is what it is.
Okay, thank you so much, Peter. We will come back later to you about the story, what happened in Germany afterwards. There is just one comment, Khalifa, for you. Also, there's an anonymous person who is saying, hi, Khalifa, I was on board the Ocean Viking during the 2nd September 2019 rotation when you were rescued. I remember we rescued more than 90 people. Glad to see you speaking your truth, courage. That was a message from you. So somebody is following at the moment, Khalifa, who was on the Ocean Viking that day. I just wanted to pass that through. So Peter, thank you so much for sharing the experience in Malta. And then also for the experience in Germany. We will hear it later. And how did it come that you also went back to Lagos?
Yeah. The second question you asked
yes.
is about the documentation. Nobody informed us. Even then, when we get to sorry for going back to Germany once again by what you said. When we get to Germany, my lawyer even asked me, did they give us information of what we are going, where we are going? I said, no, nothing like that. She was very angry, but she said, okay, I can do something. So nobody gave us any clue of anything. So it was like we are in dark world, going anywhere they take you to, you have to accept it. That is how it was then. But we are all happy that we are in Europe, a safe ground. But that is what makes all of us happy. Then we didn't need to ask questions until when it matters.
And which detention camp was it in Malta? There was a question from the audience. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, that is a Massa, very close to Valletta, the capital of Malta. Massa.
Okay, thanks again, Peter. Thank you very much. We will come back to you in a bit. We will now pass to Clara. Clara, you also shortly please present yourself and give us like an idea of what does relocation mean for the EU pact, for the coalition treaty in Germany, and why is Germany always celebrating itself so much for being humanitarian and for taking people from other countries, and how we will hear later the people will pass through a lot of pain by being taken to Germany. But first, please give 2 sentences about yourself.
Thank you, Noha, and thank you for the invitation. My name is Clara Bünger, and I'm a lawyer and recently became a member of the German parliament for the left fraction. So I'm trying to push this politics also in the parliament. Thank you as well for the great inputs from Lucia and Khalifa and Peter already, that shows the mechanism is first detention and then cherry picking. But I would like to speak a little bit general about the relocation and then specific regarding the relocation of people rescued at sea. Because regarding relocation in general, the problem is, and that is what we see now, that it's still a voluntary reception of refugees within the European Union, especially regarding the reception of protection seekers rescued from sea. What we have heard now from Khalifa and Peter, where the legal base is Article 17, Para 2, Dublin 3 regulation, which is a voluntary reception as well. And if I'm speaking too fast or too slow, then please let me know. The relocation mechanisms in the past were made on the principle of solidarity and fair sharing of responsibilities among the member states, to which the relocation decisions from 2015 refer also in their recitals in the sense of Article 80 of the Treaty of the Functioning of the European Union. Also, solidarity is a principle of the European asylum system. The development of solidarity in the common European asylum system has not been used that much when it came to implementing the direct responsibility sharing measures. For example, the mechanism from 2015 that you might have heard of after the so-called refugee crisis was the first decision on EU level where real instruments of responsibility sharing were made, because resettlement and relocation obligations were included the first time. So the member states were obligated to receive people, and 160,000 people should have been relocated from Greece and Italy, but only 20% were relocated in the end, and we will come to this later why this is the case. Because the precondition from my point of view are very discriminatory because only protection seekers from countries with more than 75% recognition rate were able to be relocated back in the time. But the generally incomplete protection of resettlement clients and their lack of legal protection, and that is what we have seen in what Khalifa and Peter said. They had no right, no access in the procedure, no rights within the relocation procedure. And this shows that it's not effective, this kind of relocation mechanism. So we need rights, subjective rights in the relocation procedure. And we had some little relocations from Greece after the fire of Moria and for unaccompanied minors, but Nikki will speak about this later. And at the moment, there is no relocation mechanism in place. As Lucia mentioned, there is the Malta Declaration, which I think has a lot of legal problems in it. But there's the draft of the EU Commission for the new Pact on Asylum regarding the Common European Asylum System, which Nora also mentioned. And it says something about solidarity mechanism that claims that asylum seekers should, if possible, be distributed among the EU member states. They will be checked to see whether they have family members in a member state or a connection to a particular state. For example, because they have studied somewhere or had a visa somewhere. Member states that do not want to take in asylum seekers must still participate in deportations. And they claim it as a solidarity mechanism, which I think is a very cynical way of subscribing solidarity. They call it deportation sponsorship. Also, refugees rescued at sea are to be distributed among the member states according to a special distribution key, which is a distribution pool, which should be a distribution pool. And the Commission also wants to establish new rules for private sea rescue organizations. As you see, it's, as I mentioned already, it's not worth calling this mechanism as a solidarity mechanism. In fact, it stays a mechanism where protection seekers have no right to effective remedy within the relocation procedure. And I think this is very crucial point, that it's very important to have these subjective rights of protection seekers. The draft of the EU Commission is still in process, and there are hearings on EU level at the moment. And the German government, and now I will speak about the German government and what they plan in their new coalition, and what they said also on EU level in internal procedures. So the German government stated in their coalition treaty, and I translated into English, on the way to a common functioning EU asylum system, we want to lead the way with a coalition of receptive member states and actively contribute to other EU states taking on more responsibility and complying with EU law. We want to support and promote the willingness to accept refugees in Germany and the EU. But looking for a coalition is also what was mentioned, I think, from Lucia. Looking for a coalition of the willing is shifting the issue to another level, and means that we cannot hope for a fast solution of this urgent matter, because we have these people rescued at sea and we need to find fast solutions. We cannot look for a European solution. And a very important information is that the new German government did not really change its position regarding the draft of the EU Commission. Even with, amongst other, Germany emphasizes its intention to maintain security checks. And this is what Khalifa and Peter were speaking about. These are the interviews that take place for 3 to 5 hours. They are carried out by the German National Security Service, and where no one is being notified, where you have no right to check the protocol. And from my perspective, there is no legal base for the German Security Service to carry these interviews out and to decide whether someone is a security risk or not. But the German new government is still relying on this procedure, and I think this is a big problem. And and also German position was stated on EU level that, and I quote, "In our view, there is in any case no subjective right to relocation." And this is, I think, this crucial point that I really want to stress out. We need subjective rights in relocation procedure. Looking back into how we received people in Germany from sea rescue, the main countries of origin in Germany were from Sudan, Nigeria, and Eritrea. Calculating the protection quotas in detail is very hard, but it's around 19%, the recognition quota, and it's lower than the general quota in Germany. And I think what we can see here is that Germany already took in a lot of people from Nigeria, had a very fast asylum procedure, as Peter and Khalifa also mentioned, had very fast decision on deportation, and therefore we had in the first half of 2021, we had 82 deportations from Nigeria, back to Nigeria, I'm sorry, back from Germany to Nigeria. And some people would call this is already the deportation sponsorship, what Germany is doing. They are taking in people with a low recognition rate and then have fast procedure, as we see not a lot of legal help in the procedure, and then fast deportations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Clara. With the 82 deportations to Nigeria, you meant the flights, not the people, right?
I meant deportations, but I'm checking on the numbers and can send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, that was very clear, Clara, of your side, from your side, about the so-called humanitarian procedure of relocation. For example, for people from Nigeria, we will also come back to Khalifa in a second. We just can add maybe also, which is also obvious from the report, that there have been taken in also people from Senegal to Germany and also people from Ghana. And there is not at all the possibility for people from Senegal or Ghana that they can get any kind of document, any kind of right to stay in Germany, because their countries are so-called safe countries of origin. So that stresses out also your theory, let's say, what you have just mentioned. Why do you take people in of whom you are pretty sure that you will deport them, or they can never get any chance to have a document? Good, let's go back to Khalifa. We stopped your experience when you talked last, you stopped when you arrived in Germany. Maybe you want to continue from there and stress out also the problems and the obstacles what people face who have been relocated to Germany.
Thank you for the question. On the 20th of December 2019, I arrived in Germany in Kassel Airport, where 132 people in number will be arrived in Germany from relocation from Italy. Then when we arrive in Germany, Kassel Airport, we have been dispatched to different regions. And since then, people who are being relocated to Germany have been facing different torture, different tormenting from different regions in Germany. Now, when we came to Germany, we are shared to different regions. Then we have to go through process of another asylum. Then we go through process of another asylum, not up to 2 weeks. All the people who have been located in Germany, 132 people in numbers, in all over Germany, different cities, have rejection to leave the country in the space of 2 weeks. In the space of, you have to leave the country in 1 week. Because some people who have been located to Germany are being kept in a particular region. For them to get a lawyer to able to make an appeal is very, very difficult for them. Because they are being kept in a typical village. When they will give some people, after some people seek for asylum in Germany, we have to go through another process of asylum. The people, when they give people rejection, people did not even know if it is rejection. So people think it was a medical report because it was very fast. You seek asylum in Germany, not up to 2 weeks, the Federal Migration Office in Germany, BAMF, have to make decision in the space of 1 week, in the space of 2 weeks that you have to leave the country. Then when the rejection came, the people who have the opportunity to able to make an appeal, we make an appeal. All over Germany, people will be relocated, we make an appeal. Everybody who come to Germany get rejection, which I believe even in school, everybody cannot fail exams. They don't have any reason of the rejection. What was the rejection? Your country is safe. How are you sure about that? If you say my country is safe, have you been there? The question is no. Because we believe that so many people are coming from different European countries to Germany, but in our case, it's different because we have been brought here directly by the German government. So how shall we be treated like this after we have to seek for asylum in the space of 1 week that we have to leave the country? Where are they pushing us to? We make an appeal. The German court, the people who have the opportunity to make an appeal, make an appeal. The German courts have to give people due. The courts have to make, which court in the world make decision in the space of 2 months, in the space of 3 months? They give people due that they have to leave the country. They give people due They are restrict them not to move out of their regions, as if they are criminals. Asylum is not a crime, and asylum can never be a crime. We seek asylum in Germany, they deny you of your past, they deny you of your story, the story you give to them. It is my story, it's not your story. What happened to me is what I said. Why you deny me of my past? I give my story, then you deny me of my past. Thousands of women, thousands of people have been passing through Mediterranean Sea. Both women and children have lost their life in the Mediterranean Sea. And there are thousands of Africans who are in serious perpetual bondage. You need to seek for asylum. And the German did not have a credible route to save Africans who need to seek for asylum. That we pass through Mediterranean Sea. A lot of people have lost their life in the desert. Now, what are we facing after we were being relocated to Germany? We still feel unsafe. We still feel persecuted. Some people even think they are still in Libya because their life is not safe. There are midnight men everywhere. Who are the midnight men? The police. The police capture people at night at the port. And I seek asylum of my past. Why you deny me of my past? It is my past. The condition, the living condition of the people who have been relocated to Germany is unbearable. People have been relocated to Germany in 2019, December 20. A lot of people are not allowed to go to school. A lot of people are not allowed to work. A lot of people are not allowed to leave their regions. What is the problem? I believe Germany are bigger than this to give us documents. Then they have to deny of our right. Asylum, the German think that asylum, it becomes a crime. When you seek asylum in Germany, it's like you commit a crime. You restrict them not to move out of their regions. Why you deny people of their past? And after we undergo different interviews, in Italy, we undergo an interview where we came to Germany. In all of this, what was the result? Negative. 132 people in number who were being relocated to Germany, December 20. The German could not find reason to give one person positive, even up till now. A lot of people, like me, are waiting for court decision. A lot of people have court decision that they have to leave the country, they have to do. They run out of Germany, they go to the EU countries. What happened to them? They feel a double punishment. Because why? You have already seek asylum in Germany. Your fingerprint is in Germany. So why did you come here? You have to go back. And the same German that said did not want you. Why German relocate me? Only to deport me back to African. And I believe we deserve a better treatment. There need to be a profound change and structure the way they treat relocation people. Because we are not happy. The hope was being given to us when we were in Italy, and the hope is being taken back. We still live in Germany. We are not safe. All the people in different regions, at night, the first people to be deported back, and we did not pass through Mediterranean Sea, pass through desert. Only our story to be denied. It affects me every day. What about the psychological problem that surround the living? How will you feel when something tragedy happened to you? Then you left your home country, your place of birth. Your home is your home. Then you pass through Mediterranean Sea, you pass through desert, only to come to a place where you think you have arrived. They say your story is not true, that you need to go back. How will you feel? The hope is being given to us when we're in Italy. A lot of people go to other countries, like France, Ireland, Luxembourg, all the people that relocate, Portugal, Spanish. We came together through the same boat. We came together through the same rescue. We were rescued by Ocean Vikings, and then we have been dispatched to all different European countries. Nobody have rejection. Nobody was being deported back. Nobody have to go to process of another asylum. All these people go to other all European countries. All of them have documents. Only we came to Germany. Not one person can boast of document. Even in school, in the high school, anywhere, everybody cannot fail exams. The BAF could not give reasons.
Khalifa, I have to interrupt you here, sorry, because we have also to pass to Peter. Maybe you finish your sentence, and then I have another question also from the audience,
Okay.
and then we would pass to Peter.
Okay. Thank you. We can continue.
The question would be what you mentioned also. Maybe you explain in 2 sentences also the differences of the region, right? You are in Potsdam, and that means that, for example, you have different circumstances than people in other shelters. And as we have heard also, the frustration of the people who were relocated is in a very high level, because of course there was hope in Italy, and there was like hope for future, hope for perspective, and then it was all shut down in Germany. Is there any support, for example, in Potsdam or in other regions? Is there any psychological support for this trauma? Because it is like another trauma after the sea, after Italy, after the desert, after Nigeria. It is another trauma to break down all the hope and the perspective what you have waited for. Is there any support?
Like Potsdam is a city, and Potsdam have a lot of offices that when you have problem, you can easily go for cancer. And in the beginning, that was the cancer we did not have, because there was no proper cancer where we're in Italy. And if we come to Germany, this is what we are going to face. And though we arrive in Germany, there was no cancer also, that we have to go to preserve an asylum. That in 2 months' time, we are going to have a rejection. We are going to also have rejection from the court, that you are not allowed to work or go to school. There was no proper cancer. But in Potsdam, they have so many offices that when you have some problems, you can easily go for clarification. But some people, a lot of people who will be relocated to Germany are being kept in a bad situation in the particular region. Even to get a lawyer for their appeal is a problem because of the region that puts them. To get a lawyer is a big problem. And a lot of people, there was no concept of what is happening. If you seek for asylum and you have to wait like 6 months or 3 weeks, they don't have any clear knowledge of what is happening because of no cancer. But the difference between Potsdam and other city, Potsdam they have so many offices for a proper cancer, and a lot of regions don't have this opportunity that I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khalifa, for sharing again. Let's also come to Peter and your situation, Peter, because as we know also from the invitation and also from your beginning statement, you are back in You are back in Nigeria now, so maybe you can tell us, or you can continue what you had talked about before when you arrived in Germany, and how did it go on, and how did you find the system here after your relocation? You can give us an analysis maybe of your expertise. The mic is still off.
Hello.
Now, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So good evening to everyone. Please don't be distracted with my background. So I'll come to that later. So like what I said, when we landed at Munchen airport, and the Red Cross took us to immigration center at Munchen, and we got interview, and like we are like another interview. We are 25 in number, or 26, I think. So then the following day, we are moved down to Bochum, and we went for another interview. That makes it 2 interviews in Germany, plus the one in Malta, making it 3. And after, early in the morning, we are drove down to Bielefeld. That is Bielefeld, and also under Dusseldorf. So, and after within 3 days, then we now have there is a man who gave us information. There is a organization called Avocat in the camp, in the place they kept us. So, and they say we can go to Avocat man to get some information about our asylum. And we are like, what is asylum? Because what we went through, nobody told us the meaning. What we know is that we are on interview, which a lot of our friends will always let us know that when you come to Europe, you must go to interview, tell them your name, your age, why you flee your country. So when we went to the advocate, he now started giving us a little bit of information that there is a big interview and a small interview. And we try to ask what is mean of big interview and small interview. He said big interview is to document your name, your age, your parent name, and the big interview is to ask you why you flee your country, which country are you from, and why you flee, and the situation, what situation is like, where you flee from, and why you came to Germany. So we are like, okay, well, which day? He said maybe any moment from today, that we arrived yesterday. Okay, any moment from today. All of a sudden, by this time on that very day in the evening, because we made the advocate in the morning, we went to the notice board. We found that our name, we are like we are 20, like we are 6 in number that was relocated to Bielefeld, because other of our colleagues we are taken to different part of Germany, so different region. So when it was morning, and there is a bus available for us, they took us down to the Banff office. They said that we have to go interview, and particularly me, I asked a question. I say, this should be the 5th interview or the 4th interview that I should be going through since we landed at Malta. They say yes, that is how German works. Say okay, no problem. That I have to give them the right information, which I went through the information. That same interview took me like 2 to 3 hours once again, like other ones. So that's gone. That is within 5 days to 6 days. I don't think it get to 7 days. I received a letter. I thought it was a doctor medical information about me, or any other thing like a medical treatment. When I don't know, I don't understand German, I don't read, and I don't know anything about German. But when we went to the people in the camp where they kept us, They said to us, this is a rejection. We are like, what is rejection? I don't know what is rejection because nobody told me about that. I say, okay, you have to go and look for a lawyer. And that is a very typical village and where they relocated us back to. After the 3 days we landed in Bielefeld, they relocated us to another village called Herford, Germany. So I think the street was what is called number that is number Zweistrasse, Herford. No, it is a popular street in Germany. So that is where they relocated us. Before you can get a lawyer in that area, like what Khalifa said, that is real. Before you can get a lawyer that can help you, appeal for your case, I think before then, yeah, maybe the time they gave to you will be over. Because like me, I am the living witness. I was given only 7 days to leave Germany, and when the letter arrived to the camp, it had taken 3 days from from the day they gave me the rejection. So I used the same day to run around. I don't have anybody in Germany. I don't have any friends. I don't have family. So I was like, how can I get a lawyer? After the day, the second day, making it 4th day. Could you know that? Could you imagine that it was on the 6th day that I managed to got a lawyer that tried to write a letter to the court to tell them, please, that this letter got to Peter very late, that they have to extend the time for him to appeal. That's how they managed to extend it. Okay, they are giving me another 1 week to appeal. And during our arrival in Germany, the whole lawyer was on break. That was in 2019, around August 2019. So that is then what it was in the camp where they kept us. I think the one we experienced in Malta Island was like a joke. We are like 20 persons in one room, but this is what we are like using to, when we were in Malta, we are telling our friends we are going to a better place. Germany is the best place. And we are like, we are going to France, no problem. When you get to Germany, so maybe someday we'll come and we'll join you there. We'll join you over Germany. So what am I saying? When the lawyer appealed and I tried to, move to the city to search for a lawyer that would take up my case, finally I got one that stood for me on the case, and the process started going on, and along the line, within 3 months, the first 3 months, I saw my advice that it was giving me a red. I asked my lawyer, what is the meaning of the red? He said, it is dundum. I said, what is the problem? He said that they reject my story, that they don't believe that I am a refugee. I said, why? My story, my life, why would I lie to the German government about me? Why can I lie to the government that can connect to another government to know if that sees everything that happens around the world, if I am a refugee or not? So the lawyer trying to tell me that is how their system, the German system, works. They don't believe that people say the truth. Said, okay. I say, what is next? She said, no, that should not worry, that she's going to fight for me to stay. Along the line, I was denied to work. I have my email up to date. I have a lot of job approval by Amazon. Last week, Amazon still called me and sent me a mail that they are still waiting for me to come and resume work. A lot of company gave me work, but German government deny me. Arbeit Center deny me the work. They deny. I write appeal. My lawyer write appeal to them. Allow my client to work. They said no, they can't allow me to work because I have dundum. Along the line, there is a time it got to, they say, okay, if you are up to 8 months at the camp, that you can appeal for work. Every other person appeal, they rejected because we have dundum. They said no, Then my lawyer asked them, why will you put a law, and when the person appeal under the law, you put on and you reject it? They couldn't give any answer. They said, because I have Dundum, I don't need to move around. I don't need to move out of the region, out of the local council where I was posted to be in the camp, so that I have to be in one place, which is the camp. So I was like, what is all this about? So my lawyer started appealing in a warm, crucial morning around 2 a.m. Unlike what Khalifa is saying, I was like, I don't sleep. When I was in Libya, I sleep more better than when I was in Germany, when they gave me Dundum, because every night I used to be awake. I see a lot of people being deported early in the morning, 1 to 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. You see a lot of cars of police coming to pick people back to their home country. I see it with my 2 eyes. I see them. I was like, what is problem? Is there any fight that we didn't know that is happening inside the camp? But when we ask questions, they say, no, these are people that got doomed. From then I was afraid. What is happening? Who knows the next person to be picked up? One morning I was, I was on sleep, and all of a sudden I saw some group of people come into my room, and they asked me of my advice. I gave to them, and they check. I say, you are Peter Ogenya? I say, yes. Say, you have to go to court. I say, court? They say, yes. Say, but my lawyer didn't give me any information about going to court. They say, no problem. They will contact my lawyer when we get to the court. I say, no, but it's very wrong that I have to receive letter from my lawyer or phone call, because I'll be communicating with my lawyer with phone call and also with mail. That she didn't give me any information about this. Why do you want to come and take me away without my lawyer's notice? They say, don't worry, everything will be okay. Pack your loads. I said, what do you mean by I should pack all my loads? They said, don't worry. The police started helping by bringing all my loads. When I tried to touch my phone to make a call, they start beating me. They handcuff me. All manner of torture I experienced in that room, because some of my friends, when they saw that police, they were, they said that I need to go to court. Many of them ran away from. They tried to run out of the room. They are the ones that try to make noise to let some of my friends and colleagues, and they come to know that they want to deport Peter. And from there, they start making call. That's when we get to the police, they they handcuffed my hand and put me inside the cell from 3:30 a.m. till 12 p.m. in the afternoon. Then the time they say that it's time for the court. When it is 12:30 p.m., they take me to court. They have no translator. My lawyer was not there. Everything that we are saying, we are saying it in German. They were saying it. I don't even know what they said, because they don't allow me to go to school. They don't allow me to work, because when you allow me to go to school, I can learn a little bit of German to speak and or to understand what you are saying. When after saying it, all I could get from everything they said is that the judge said that I have to go. They are taking me to the deportation center. That in next 3 days, being Friday, that is 11th, being Friday, 11th of November 2020, that I have to be deported with a chartered flight from Frankfurt back to Lagos, Nigeria. So I was like, why are you taking me back to a country that I'm running away? Do you want me to die? Because I escaped from prison, and I escaped from death and ran through the North Africa and made it to this place. And you want to take me back without the notice of my lawyer, and without allowing me to express my feelings and my rights. So that is what the judge said. That is what the law said. I said, which law? Can you help me to call my lawyer to know about this? They said, no problem, that they will call my lawyer later. They handcuffed me once again and boggle me into the police van and take me to Buren in Paderborn. That is where they took me to, and no access to my family, to my friends, to my lawyer, to my to my colleagues that are in camp, to let them know if they can help me get anybody that can reach my lawyer. So that is when it was on Thursday evening that a letter came to me that my lawyer she's very sorry that he just got information very late that I was arrested, that she tried to put a call to ask if I have a criminal charge. They said no criminal charge and no fight, no crime committed by me. That is just a law. And she tried to appeal. Before she could go for the appeal, that was the following day, being the Friday, around 9 o'clock in the evening. The BAMF came to Burin with the police van and picked me up and drove me down to Frankfurt. That is how I got myself to Lagos, Nigeria on the following morning. As I'm talking to you, as you can see, I am using 2 torchlight here. I am on the hiding because since I touched my foot on the international airport, Lagos, Nigeria, I was traced to the place. I tried to uh, see as a, let me have a shelter before finding a way to stay. I was arrested on that on the 12th of November 2020. I was in the prison. I was tortured. I sent Nora the picture of how the injury I sustained in the beating of the Nigeria security. I was put in prison is because with the help of those NSAS protesters that was arrested and jailed in Nigeria. A group of some people that I didn't know, we didn't know, nobody knows who they are up to now, that came and break the prison. Everybody ran away. I was able with the injury on my body. I was able to join my colleague who was escaping to flee from the prison. As I'm talking to you now, I can't move on the daytime on Nigeria roads. I move like a criminal in my own country. As I'm talking to you right now, I am on uncompleted building. As you can see, the person that you went during Nora was saying something, that is a colleague of mine that was moving around my back. This is the man who accommodated me just to hide in this uncompleted building. He's the person in charge of taking care of the compounds because it's empty building. I just managed to have by the corner and to make my sleep on the daytime. If I have to make a move in this place I am right now, I have to wait around 2 to 3 a.m. to disguise myself like a woman and relocate to another area. And I can't go on the daytime to ask for someone for food to eat, except in the night. I can disguise myself like a woman to go and beg for who can help me on what to eat. I can't get a job because on going to any office here to get a job, that means I'm reporting myself back to the Nigeria security force to arrest me, and I don't know what will be my fate if they arrest me once again, because a lot of people have died, and they are arresting a lot of people on daily basis. They will even give you put a charge on your head that you escaped from the prison, that we are once NSAS and you escaped. And my own case is that they know me too well. They have my record, and I escaped once, and they arrested me when I was deported. So for them to arrest me again, I don't think I will be alive to narrate the story once again. As I'm talking to you right now, I am homeless. I can't go to my region. I am currently hiding somewhere in Lagos. I can't make a call with I can't get a telephone line, because for me to get a telephone line, my name, my picture, my fingerprint must appear, and they must use it to relocate me wherever I am. So this phone I'm using right now to chat is my friend. I'll call him my friend, my best friend, because he have been covering me and have been sheltering me on this uncompleted building. And anytime I want to have anything to do with phone call or internet call, he's the one, his phone I'm using. This is my telephone. This is the little telephone touch I'm using. This is it. And what is inside here is his SIM card, telephone SIM card that he gave to me. Any call I'm making, maybe if they want to track, they will see his name and his picture. So I don't have any right now as I'm talking to you to go to the, to telecommunication company to get any SIM card. What I am just praying now is, or I'm planning is how I can get a breakthrough to move out of Nigeria because my life is in danger. All these things are caused by German government because when we were coming, they were taking us to Germany. They told us that Germany need immigrants. They need immigrants to, that they will bring in, especially those that are suffering from persecution in their home country. But what we hear in media is different from what we see when we land in Germany. Germany just open a door for people. They open a door. When you come in, they'll from back door to chase you away from their country, and that is very bad. I was disappointed because when we were in Malta, the government of Malta, then Prime Minister Muscat, he gave us every opportunity to stay in Malta to work. We say no, we have to go to Germany. The woman in charge of Germany, she need us. She said we should come. They are the one that will send their plane to bring us down to Germany. And she says she's aware we are coming. They send greetings to us. We are happy. But when we within 1 week and 2 weeks we stay in Germany, we find out that I think we are not needed. And I must tell you the truth. I have their number, all my friends, those that I relocated together with. I have all their numbers right now. Many of them are sleeping in the street. None of them in their various camp. They have run away because police is chasing them from one place to the other to deport them, like me. So as I'm talking to you, everyone, of course, is regretting why did we allow them to relocate us to Germany? Because the media, they will use the media to tell the whole world that they need immigrants, that they are the best. But when they bring you in, they will open the back door and deport you, and they will not let people know that they are deporting you. The same way they tell people that they are accepting you, they will not let people know. And it's very, very bad. As I'm talking to you now, I am hopeless and homeless. I don't even know, my family don't even know that I'm still exist because I am hiding. There is no way to contact them. I arrived from when I flew from Nigeria. They don't know. Maybe their hope is they are thinking maybe I'm no longer alive, or maybe I am alive. No, I don't have communication because I can't board in a transport right now down to the east where I came from. I am from eastern part of Nigeria. I can't because you have over 200 checkpoints of police and military and the Department of Security Services on the road. Who are they? Who are they searching? They were searching for people they think that is their enemy. The people that they escaped from prison, the people that they think that is the enemy of the government. People agitating for freedom or whatever. And once I board into the vehicle, I'm telling you the truth. Honestly, I'm just gone. But I don't need to take that risk because I still want to live, and I know that I will succeed someday. Please, that is what I'm trying to let everyone know. Not you as you see it on media that Germany is accepting immigrants. That is not how it is. When you get there, you will see the pain. It was in the media that you see it. It is very sweet, but when you get down to Germany, you feel the pain. I'm telling you the truth. This is what happened to me, and I'm still suffering for it right away. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm just waiting for this meeting to just end. I need to. Yesterday, when I got the information, I was on the road. If Nora will let you know, if she go back to the voice message that I sent to her, she will hear a lot of a noise. I was trekking by the side of the road, by the bush side, in case of if there is any movement, any vehicle that comes towards my way, I can run into the bush. But I disguise myself as a woman. What will I do? I can't just be at one place because of because of what German government caused to me. They should have leave me alone in Malta Island. I even regret why coming to Europe. In the first place, I should have stayed in Libya. A lot of people are in Libya. Many of them are there. Not everybody that will die once. So please, if anybody knows how to help me, anyhow to help me to get out of this place, I don't know how you help. Help me, please, because my life is serious danger. This is what I let the German government know from beginning, and they think that I'm lying. Thank you very much. I have to stop here because I have a lot of things to say, because why I'm saying is saying this, my heart gets bleeding. I feel like crying. Thank you very much, Nora, for bringing me to this platform, because it gives me opportunity to share my feelings. And I honestly thank you so much. God bless you and Khalifa and everyone who made it possible for this program, because I have been looking for opportunity to let people know what I passed through, the pain, the beating, and all the suffer I got through. While trying to make it to Europe, to have my safety and still bring me back to the place. I still receive another wound, another beating, another torture from the same people I'm running away from. Thank you so much. I have to stop here. Thank you.
Peter, thank you so much for sharing. There is already Rex Osa in the chat who wants the contact with you. He's like an activist, a Nigerian activist. He lives in Germany, but he also travels to Nigeria, and he tries to build up networks also in Nigeria and consciousness about migration and so on. And he has been like living in Germany for a long time. He's helping people against deportation and so on. So I will send you his contact number. And maybe he has also an idea how you can continue and what can we do for you also for your situation, because I think you made it very clear that exactly this what you said. It's very impressive that Germany is like pretending to be humanitarian, to taking people in, and then they're kicking people from the back door, and this actually counts a lot for Nigeria. Because the rate of recognition of Nigerian asylum seekers has gone down a lot since there is a new head in the Bundesamt für Migration und Flüchtlinge in the ministry. And when there is this new boss, let's say, he has a lot of prejudices against Nigerians, and he's very open with that. And since he is leading the Bundesamt, since then the recognition numbers of Nigerian are going lower and lower and lower. So this is also a political question of declaring Nigeria not dangerous for other people. But Peter, thanks a lot. Very thank you. Anyway, we will keep in contact also. And I will send you also the number of Rex, and we will definitely see what we can do for you. Definitely.
No problem, Nora, no problem. But sorry for adding this. There is a message I saw that displayed on the screen right away, that someone said that it's not only in Germany, but all over Europe. And I must I don't know the person who sent this message, but I must put the person very wrong, because just go check or type Alan Kurdi 2019. That is the boats that rescued me, and we are the people that bear that name. My group. Those ones that was relocated to France. Within the 3 months, we are running up and down in Germany with Dundum. All of them, we are given 10 years of refugee protection. The other one 6 years, some 3 years, some 12 years. Check them. They are 15 in number or more than, if I'm correct. They are currently living in France, attending their school, going to their work. Nobody disturbs them, because they told us, they call us on phone and say that when they get there, that they say yes, that the Prime Minister of Malta, Joseph Muscat, gave them information about us, that we are good people, we behave good, we don't fight. Because when we get there, they are telling us story of how many guys we met at the camp are fighting, destroying some things. But when we get there, despite the 4 months and 5 months we spend in detention camp, we never bother. We never fight anybody. We never complain. We comport ourselves. So this is what gave them the credit of receiving immigration protection, refugee protection, 10 years, some 10 years, some 6 years, some 4 years. The German case is not the same. They see us as people that need to be deported back to our country. None of my group, none of us, 26 of us, none of us is safe currently. I'm currently in Germany right now, and none of them is in their right place where they posted them. A lot of them is running from one location to another so that they can't be deported because they are aware of my that I'm deported. So Nora, please, thank you. Let me allow other people to to speak.
Thank you very much, Peter. Again, we should talk a little bit slower, the translators say. Yeah, thank you again. And as I said, we have to see how we can go on also with your situation. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, or if there are already some comments also. And a lot of thanking you, Peter, that you share your story. And we should not forget also that there's a lot of racism and colonial thinking behind the deportations, especially of African people, that they're always handcuffed, for example, that they're very often beaten, that they are very often that they are very often facing police violence and so on. But this, of course, is another chapter we have to open. Nevertheless, I would like to go to our last panelist, and thank you again, Peter, and we keep in contact. I would change over also, if it's very difficult actually for me also after you have shared your story, to just continue with the panel. But we have a last panelist who is Nikki, and she wants to give a short input about the Greek situation, about the situation for refugees in Greece. And also there had been some relocation programs. Yeah, let's see what is happening in Greece about the relocation procedures. Nikki, hello, and please introduce yourself with 2 sentences.
Hello. Yeah, sure. Hello, thank you for inviting us and taking this important initiative of discussion. And especially thanks to Peter and Khalifa, who shared with us their stories. It's true that it's hard now to shift into another topic. I'm Nikki Georgiou. And I am based in Athens. A few words about our organization. We are a German and Greek organization providing free legal aid to protection seekers in Greece. In Greece, our organization maintains offices in Athens and on the islands where the 2 of the hotspots are, on Chios and Kos. We provide assistance throughout the whole asylum procedure. We work on reuniting families, on unlawful detention, and on tackling human rights violations like homelessness of protection seekers, detention of unaccompanied minors, reception and dire living conditions on the hotspots of Chios and Kos. Despite the fact that the core of our work is focused on legal aid and legal representation, when capacity of our lawyers allows it, we publish reports, we enter into the public dialogue and try to do advocacy on important issues related to human rights violations. Like very briefly, what is the situation now in Greece? Despite the fact that Greece is not anymore in the media, the situation is still a disaster. Of course, we don't have the same high numbers of people arriving on the islands, but the living conditions have not changed at all. The reasons why we have low numbers of people on the islands are 3, I would say. People are way to the mainland of Greece, acceleration of asylum procedures, and of course pushbacks, which is not a secret anymore. What is happening to the people that are moved from the islands to the mainland? They are placed in overcrowded camps, obliged to live in complete unhealthy conditions without appropriate access to healthcare services. So you can imagine the dangers faced and are still facing related to COVID, where the danger is much higher than the general population. Also, a big part of the people who were transferred from the islands to the mainland remained homeless without any kind of accommodation plan. together with the pandemic, on the island, we faced a crisis related to deterioration of the mental health of people residing inside the camps, as inside the camps and in the whole area, there were much stricter restrictions of movement than of the general Greek population. What is new now is that we have three new closed controlled camps on Samos, Kos and Leros. They are ready. On Samos, the closed camp has already started operating and it is a complete disaster. People are completely isolated geographically. There's a complete isolation from the rest of the society and the outside world. And of course, okay, how to talk about any kind of integration if kids don't go to school, access to hospital is hard, and external activities are in general prohibited. So it's normal that people residing in this closed camp are overstressed by these new detention conditions. There was a Greek ruling saying that this amounts to detention. However, the situation haven't changed. The situation is not better on other islands, especially on Kos, where administrative detention upon arrival has become the rule, even for vulnerable groups such as LGBTQ community, women that have experienced gender-based violence, victims of torture. In the past, also families with children were detained. Of course, detention conditions are horrible. Detainees barely have access to medical care and psychological support. If I would say that we have one main problem in Greece is safe accommodation. Here we can say again that we have a crisis. Many people that we met in our office do not have a stable or safe accommodation. Some are completely homeless or in precarious living conditions. Unaccompanied minors, despite the number having decreased a bit, accommodation is still a problem. And of course, when a minor becomes an adult, accommodation solutions start to vanish. Another problem that we face is on the mainland is the extreme long delays in registering an asylum application. Most people that come to our office have been trying to ask for asylum without success for more than a year. So during all this period, they remain undocumented in the time periods without access to social rights. Problems also exist for recognized refugees. After a person gets his or her positive decision, there is an obligation to leave accommodation within 30 days. At the same time, within this time period, they stop receiving any kind of financial assistance. So thousands of recognized refugees, among them families with children, pregnant women, single women, elderly people, people with medical problems, or people with serious mental health problems had to live in homelessness for extended time periods. Okay, of course, let's not talk about people who have been rejected, who are these are people phantoms in limbo for a long time, undocumented, without having any right, most of them in unsafe and living conditions or even homeless. This is more or less the situation we face in Greece. Maybe is in its worst, and our work, of course, becomes and remains even more challenging.
Now you're a little bit stuck.
Today.
Now you're, yeah.
Yeah, my internet is a bit unstable.
Yeah, maybe you turn off your camera if you want to repeat the last sentence.
Yeah, I was just saying that the situation is in Greece is now in its worst, and our work has become even more challenging. Okay, maybe I will turn off my camera, just in case. So coming a bit to the topic of the discussion of today, relocation. Okay, I mean, Clara made a short reference. I would like to go a bit back when the initial objective of the hotspot approach was to assist Italy and Greece by providing operational support so that Greece and Italy could fulfill their obligations under EU law and swiftly identify, register and fingerprint incoming migrants, channel asylum seekers into asylum procedures, implement the relocation scheme and conduct return operations. The hotspot approach was also expected to contribute to the implementation of the temporary relocation scheme proposed by the European Commission in September 2015. I will not make you tired with statistics on relocations and how many people have been relocated in different time periods. Just to say that until September 2021, 4,162 people have been relocated to other EU member states. And between February and March 2021, 773 people were even directly relocated from Lesbos to Germany with direct flights, trying to reduce the overcrowding in the temporary facility on Lesbos. My experience is similar to what also Lucia described, and Peter and Khalifa, I would say. We have absolutely no clue about the procedure of relocation in Greece. As lawyers working on the field, we never had concrete information on the relocation procedures. Often asylum seekers were contacting us, telling us that they would like assistance on getting into the relocation list, or they wanted preparation for their relocation interview. But it was very hard for us to have solid knowledge and information on what was going on. Like who was having these relocation lists, who was the actor that we could refer to, what was the content of the relocation interviews. So to be honest, for this talk, I had to interview an ex-employee who used to work with UNHCR, like also to give you some more information, because our knowledge was up to zero, even though we were trying to have information. So this ex-worker of UNHCR explicitly confessed that the procedure was on purpose non-transparent. The European states who had expressed the willingness to undertake people from Greece did not want to present this offer as something that would have a continuity. So this is why also for us the procedure remained non-transparent and abstract. There were no rules in the lists, no rules in the procedures and the transfers. For example, on Lesbos, all of a sudden there was a flight that could transfer some people to Finland. And the employees were wondering like who would like to go to Finland. No lists were prepared. If they could find all of a sudden people to fill the flight. The procedure was also very demanding. Also, like Khalifa and Peter described, the interviews were taking a long time. Especially for the unaccompanied minors, the best interest assessment was conducted. And in Greece, the relocation applied for two categories: unaccompanied minors and families with children with serious medical conditions. So homeless children, children living in precarious conditions, such as safe zone areas and camps, and minors being previously detained were considered eligible for the program of the relocation. As you have already heard, of course, particularly hard was the situation of minors in Moria, who had experienced violence, lack of any kind of material support, exposure to serious risk of life, and constant fear of survival. Many of the minors had, of course, serious psychological problems because of the conditions they had experienced. And what I found a bit paradoxal here is that some of the minors, because of the conditions, were started using drugs inside Moria. And these minors were like automatically excluded from the relocation procedure. So how can this, if you don't change the living conditions of the minor, how would you make him get out of this? As of today, minors contact us, until today from time to time, wondering what is happening with their relocation procedure. They had already conducted interviews in the past and they had been accepted by the state. and still they have no information on when they're going to be transferred. So we see here that also the deadlines, as also the previous panelists mentioned, the deadlines are uncertain. So yes, relocation is welcomed, but like some sentence to wrap it up. But of course, it should not happen in the way at least it was implemented in Greece. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikki, also for this input. Yeah, and we have also in Germany similar experiences so far with some people that they were also taken here via relocation and rejected immediately after they're applied for asylum, and now they live with a Duldung as well. So there are some similarities, there are some parallels also for the people who have been relocated from Greece. That was a very intense event with a lot of stories. Thank you so much, especially to Peter and to Khalifa. There are no more comments or no more questions in the chat, but there are a lot of comments and a lot of thanks for Peter and Khalifa especially, and also for Clara and Lucia and the others. So I would like that Khalifa can have the last word with the demands we have developed to all together in the relocation project, but they're coming mostly from the people who have been relocated, who have been rescued from the sea. So Khalifa, if you want, you can just close the event with the demands, with the political demands. And I will already say goodbye to everyone. And thank you very much that you have joined the event. Yeah, Khalifa, you have the last word.
Thank you all for the event. And I wish all the relocation people who have been located from Germany, from Malta, from Italy, to have documents. And the process of Italy, Mediterranean Sea, desert, should be included in decision making by BAMF. So any decision they are taking, they should take a decision that these people will be brought directly from Italy. They should look up to that, not what happened to your country, that is all. Then they have to persecute you on that. In the space of 2 months, they have to give you in the space of 2 weeks, they have to give you the rejection. And they are the one who brought you here, and it's not included. You were brought from Italy, they still ask you funny question. How did you come to Germany? The process of asylum from Mediterranean Sea, from Italy, and how you were relocated to Germany should be included in decision making, because you have risked your life from Mediterranean Sea, and you have risked your life in the prison, and you should be given the opportunity to stay, not deportation. And I'm sure it cannot be up to a standard, keeping us waiting without any response to our request. What we need in Germany is a stay, not deportation. Not deny people what happened to them in their country because you are not there. It is my story, that is not your story. Stop denying me of my past. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
also
you,
to all the
everyone.
panelists. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you also very
Bye-bye.
much to the translators. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalifa and Peter.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
We have so many questions, huh? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, last to say. Thank you very much. I'm impressed. Thank you, sharing your story. Thank you, Khalifa. Okay, that is all we need. Should we grant you also stay? Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Also, the best Montez voice. Oh.
So I have to leave as I need to make a move now. Yeah,
We keep in contact, Peter. All the best.
yeah. I
Bye,
will.
Peter. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
So how do you see the event? It's nice. We're still alive?
Yes, I think yes.